We're doing the yearbook of bugs, all the superlatives. Which bug has the most eyes? Which is most likely to eat its own kind? It's always the one
Yes, it's the one you think.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
most likely to have the shortest lifespan. And we are joined by entomologist extraordinaire, Dr. Sammy.
Hey, I get extraordinaire on my name now? All right.
Add it at the end there.
I like that. I like that.
Parentheses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Down for it.
Yeah.
What game are we playing today?
We are playing Grounded 2. You're going to play a tiny teen who's about to become even tinier.
And we're doing a pacifist run. No bugs will die.
I'm going to do my best, but I'm going to go ahead and not commit to that. I have a spear. Yeah. They're going to get Brittany speared.
So you always knew you wanted to be, well, since the age of 7, you knew you wanted to be an entomologist.
Well, prior to the age of 7, I was terrified of insects.
Really?
I
What
thought they were the
changed?
creepiest things on the planet. My parents just make really good life decisions. They're like, hey, Sammy, people fear what they don't understand. We're taking you to a library. You're going to get a library card. You're going to learn about bugs. You're going to love them. I was a very trusting kid. I was like, if my parents say that this makes sense, it makes sense. I started reading about bugs and became obsessed. Oh, okay.
It's a weevil.
So we're not.
I am
okay.
not attacking. We're friends, as far as
All
I'm
right.
concerned.
Let this weevil live his best life. He's looking for a seed.
What's the significance of the weevil having this just like very long
It's so cute. It doesn't. It's given like
thing?
It's like
elephant
Yeah.
vibes.
Like, is there something particular they can do because they have that?
Oh yeah, I mean, I of course I want to be like, oh, it's there because they're adorable, but no, there's always evolutionary significance, and the evolutionary significance for them is that they need to be able to chew a hole deep into an acorn or another large seed, and that's where they're going to lay an egg. Their baby's going to develop in there, and so they need something that's able to pierce through that really hard outer layer of the seed itself. And that's what that weird snout is for.
Here's a ladybug.
We have the state insect of New York in front of us.
Wow.
All right.
The ladybug
The
state.
9-spotted ladybug.
Oh my god, and a snail. I think they'll fight.
They shouldn't.
They're not.
Yeah, they should
Yeah,
just
they
move
seem
right
to-
past each
those
other.
so passive.
Yeah.
They seem to be.
Well,
So
no.
would you say that they're best friends?
Oh,
we have our
definitely
list
not.
of bug superlatives here.
Not best friends. I wonder. So, all right. So this is gonna be bug yearbook for bugs that we see in this game, because I can tell you.
No, it can be other bugs too.
All right, because the pus moth caterpillar is definitely best hair.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. When you see like the amount of work that caterpillar goes through every morning, you know, the gel on one side, hair standing up, got the bob on the other side. It's a whole thing. Unfortunately, the hair conceals a bunch of very toxic spines, so you don't want to touch one if you're
Okay, okay.
This is a red worker ant. Now, worker ants will not attack me, but a soldier ant will.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the soldier ants are tasked with defending the colony. They go through something called age polyethism, and it's where your job changes based on how old you are. So if you spend enough time as an ant, you will go through a bunch of different jobs. And with bees, it's really interesting because you'll see that they go through all the jobs in the colony, basically. From the beginning of their time as a worker, they will start cleaning cells. They'll be a little cleaner bee. Then they'll be a builder. They'll start building out the colony. And every job they go through, it eventually gets more dangerous. And so the old bees are the ones doing the most dangerous work.
Now, when you say an old bee, what is the lifespan of a bee?
Yeah, it's like 40-ish days.
Oh.
That's not that long. But, you know, when you're a senior citizen, you're getting up there in days. You're 35 days old. Then you're going to start flying out of the colony, gathering food, and that's kind of... Okay. Wait a minute.
Oh no.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so
Multiple spiders coming after you.
yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah.
I love spiders.
I do too.
Are little
I
spiders
do
really called
too.
spiderlings?
Yes, they are. When people see small insects, they oftentimes tell me, oh, look, it's a little baby ladybug. And I'm like, no, that's how big that species of ladybug gets. And one of the rules of thumb for insects, if it has wings, it is an adult insect.
Okay.
Period. I think there's only one exception to this rule. There's a type of mayfly that has wings in its last juvenile form. But aside from that, no exceptions. If it has wings, it's an adult bug.
Going back to the bee lifespan for a second, one of our
Yes.
superlatives is shortest lifespan.
Oh, well, then we need to get back to the mayflies. Well, depends on where you're going with that, because as adults, mayflies have very short lifespans. But let's go with the mayfly.
Okay, and then who lives the longest?
There are termites that lived over 30 years, which is insane. And of all the bugs that you probably wouldn't want to live a long time, it would probably be a termite if they're chewing on your house, maybe.
And they probably think they can pass that property down through generations.
Right? It's the only way we're ever gonna own.
I love that. I love
Generational
that.
wealth of termites.
Yeah. Are these mice?
Yeah, so these little mice, I
Whoa.
don't look.
They look great. Why?
Don't I didn't want this to happen like this. It attacked me.
This is what I'm talking about, Dr.
It
Sandy.
attacked me first.
Okay. All right. So you know I'm gonna have to freeze you out, right? Like
I deserve it.
We're gonna be friends.
I
We're gonna talk a bunch.
I get it.
We have
And
to.
you and your murderous ways can just stay over here.
I can reform. I can be better.
Technically, that one wasn't a bug. You don't even get a pass though.
Oh.
But
Wait, what do you mean it wasn't a bug?
so it had 8 legs, and insects are specifically defined by having 6 legs, and they have 3 body segments: head, thorax, abdomen. And you'll notice that creature that she was just attacking, the mite, it kind of looked like it was just the blob with 8 legs
hub,
attached to it. Yeah, that hub has the abdomen and then the cephalothorax, which is a combination of the head and thorax smushed together. So, they're technically not insects, but they inhabit the same sort of niches.
Is that why a spider isn't technically an insect?
Precisely. Spiders and mites are part of the arachnida.
Are all bugs animals though? Like,
Yes, every
okay.
single one of them.
But who would you say has the hottest legs?
Oh no, I don't think that can even go to an insect. I think it's got to go to the daddy long legs. I mean, have you seen those games?
Yeah.
All 8 of them?
I love a daddy long legs.
Look. If I could just walk around with legs for days.
I
Come
said
on.
Big Daddy LL.
All right, so we've got best mandibles, most eyes, most carnivorous, best friends, most likely to eat its own kind, and most likely to eat its own kind. So I spent a lot of time raising praying mantids as a kid. My favorite bugs out there. And that happens more consistently when they mate in captivity because the male doesn't really have as much of an opportunity to get away. They don't always get eaten, but in captivity, they will probably always get eaten.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not always eaten, but maybe always murdered.
Yeah. So it's the females aren't just out here murdering for the fun of it. I've actually had a male and a female mating before, and the female will start eating, and I'll be like, "No, buddy, I want you to keep living," and I'll separate the 2 of them, and he will crawl back over there, like bite marks out of him, like I gotta do this. So, unfortunately, and fortunately, it kind of seems like the males are aware of their fate, and this is their contribution to the next generation. They make sure that the female has a large enough meal right before she lays eggs where she can pass on even more of his genetic material to the next generation.
Well, true or false, too, in this similar vein, when a mosquito bites us and takes our blood or blood protein or whatever, they're just trying to feed their young, right?
Yes. And
But are their young also evil?
okay. All right. So is this like a good cop, bad cop situation?
The mosquitoes!
Okay. All right. If there were an insect that I would get rid of, it would be the mosquito.
Thank you.
I don't think I would get rid of any insect except the mosquito.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
We're on the same page
Great,
there.
great.
The mosquitoes have
Now
caused a
I'm
lot.
not so evil, am I?
Actually, no, that's not the only one. Screwworms. Screwworms gotta go.
Never. I don't even know what that is.
I don't even know what
Would
that
you like
is.
me to tell you about the screwworm?
Tell
Please.
us more.
Would you like to have nightmares?
No.
I mean, okay, you don't know me, but
You don't know me? Y'all heard it. You don't know me? Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm getting the impression.
sometimes a nightmare is just a different kind of adventure. What is it?
Okay, I like that vibe. Let me just tell you, screwworms are next level. So these insects will look for a mammal, a warm-blooded organism that has an abrasion on their skin. And they'll fly over and they will lay eggs, unfortunately. And their maggots will crawl in to that abrasion of the skin and just start consuming as much of that subcutaneous tissue as they can, and they'll grow.
Yeah, Nicole, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to disagree with you. I'm going to kill the screwworms, too.
That is the fastest aphid I've ever seen in my life. What is this? What is this witchcraft? Oh no!
I only hit the
You
leaf.
bumped him.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, well, I'm going to harvest it just because I don't want to waste anything. I did not know that would happen.
While you're harvesting that,
Shameless plug, guys.
we distract from Nicole's insect murder.
not know.
pbssocal.org/gamer. You can donate and get this really, really cool shirt. And just support the show. We appreciate you all.
Nice shirt.
And this is a nice boulder. Oh no.
That is
Here we go. Another
nice.
spiraling.
That is a real
When are we
nice
going to get to some of the big boy bugs?
So can I fight this?
yeah, it attacked you. Go for it.
I don't know. Can you live with yourself?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay, then. Just go for it, I guess.
Oh, okay. So why does, first of all, it's the explosions for me.
I don't like the goo.
But yeah.
I'm
and then
anti-goo.
Why is the goo so green? I think while we're doing most eyes, we can probably go with spiders for that.
Spiders, okay.
They can have, maybe 4 eyes in some species, but then they can have 8, and that's always really cool when you got eyes on eyes on eyes on eyes.
What's the benefit for so much seeing?
So it's very important that you be able to see in pretty much all directions when you're so small that everything was to eat you. The eyes on the sides of your face, like think about how many times during this conversation I've had to turn to you.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I can't watch all the murder that she's doing over here because she stops murdering
Murder's
when I
happening
look
to me
directly at her.
too.
But if I were a spider and I could look at the both of you at the same time, still stare forward, and see what's above me, so I can't easily be attacked. Oh my gosh.
Oh, gosh.
Look at you. Why do we have to fight the roach?
Oh, I'm
Can't
not
we
gonna
be
fight.
friends?
We're just
Okay.
I wonder if I could write it.
Why does it have so many health bars?
Well, I don't know. Cockroaches don't die,
Yeah.
and I think this health bar reflects that.
But he's very passive. He's not trying to attack here.
He's being a
very
good guy.
passive roach.
Can we milk him?
I like
I like you too. I like you
that was
too.
the right thing to say upon seeing the roach. That's
We gonna
look, everybody.
elaborate? Say more.
Look, everybody. One day,
Oh, toxic.
you are going to enter your Whole Foods and you're going to see oat milk, you're going to see almond milk, and you're going to see my face on a bottle of roach milk. It's gonna be Yep, Dr. Sammy's roach milk. You need to get you some, all right? Because out of all the milks on the planet, this is by far the most nutritious. By far.
Should we say delicious milk then? Should we just
can we
write
put
that
on
in?
there? Best milk? Okay, guys, this is pretty accurate. So cockroaches love to have babies all in one area, and they will hang out together, and they will often feed on the leavings of their mom until they are old enough to go out and find their own food.
Will insects eat other insects after they've died?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. And cockroaches are scavengers, so they will do that.
Who's the most carnivorous then of these?
I would hate to put praying mantis on here twice.
So probably.
Also the praying mantis.
Okay.
The first time you see a praying mantis eat a snake, you will understand why it's the most carnivorous.
A snake?
An entire snake.
So like eating another dead bug, like they're not worried about getting any kind of disease or getting any kind of poison from these bugs or anything.
Well, poison is definitely something that they should be concerned about because a lot of insects, their best method of defending themselves is to be chemically defended. When you see an insect that is black and yellow, black and red, or black and orange, you probably shouldn't eat it because it is trying to warn you that if you consume it, bad things will happen to your digestive
Yeah,
system.
well, I need to make some phone calls then, because
Eating a lot of
I'm
ladybugs.
giving some wrong information. Well,
Well, I mean, think about the bugs that are most prominently those colors. So probably the first thing that comes to your mind would be a wasp. You don't want to try to, tango with a wasp, but it's 2 forms of chemical defense here. There's being venomous and there's being poisonous. And even though people use them interchangeably, they're very different things. A poisonous creature is one that if you eat it, it's going to hurt you. And a venomous creature is one where it has to inject something into you, into your bloodstream by a stinger or something, before you actually suffer the consequences.
And is this hot dog, would you say venomous or poisonous?
I'm gonna go with poisonous for the
Okay.
hot dog.
Okay.
I would very strongly advise that if you do see a hot dog
In the
that
wild.
looks like this, wild hot dog of this general consistency,
Yeah.
don't touch that.
what's your favorite bug?
Praying mantis, they're just so cool. There's more than 1 million described species of insects. It's very hard to pick just one. So, my favorite carnivorous insect, definitely the mantis. My favorite of the vegetarians, definitely the honeybee. Love them. There's just a lot of favorite kinds of all the different sorts, which is why we had to make a yearbook, y'all. Because, come on. Who's got the best legs but Big Daddy LL?
LLC.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, let us know in the comments who your favorite insect is. Not necessarily my favorite insect. My favorite insect fact, though, is the giant Asian hornet.
Oh, underground? Yeah, some of them are subterranean species.
Oh no, but the way that honeybees will kill them.
Oh yeah, that's wild. The the heat ball that they create.
So they're just flapping their wings very rapidly. Like they trap them and they cook them
Actually,
alive.
it's a bit of a misconception. It's actually not from flapping their wings. They actually can uncouple their wings from their flight muscles and just vibrate the flight muscles
I
themselves.
got dunked on by an orb weaver.
Sorry, we were talking about
Junior?
beebs.
Now, does anybody else here feel like she deserved it? I feel like she deserved it.
Yeah, I got really close to that nest, I'll be honest.
And was it a spiderling that took you out?
Yeah, it was.
Little baby spider.
But there was some science behind there.
It was.
I had to get the science.
You can eat some bugs though.
I've eaten a fair number of bugs in my day.
Oh, I would never eat a
Baby girl.
People eat snails.
Yeah, they're very edible, but you should never eat a snail without cooking it, everyone. Keep in mind, snails are intermediate hosts for a crap ton of different parasites. And some of these parasites are deadly. Things like rat lungworms can get into your brain.
Cook your snails, people.
Definitely snails and slugs.
Snails
Cook
and
'em.
slugs. Cook
They're
them.
intermediate hosts. Also shrimp. Don't those are also intermediate hosts. Cook those too. Cicadas are often called tree shrimp, and I have consumed quite a few cicadas in my day. Various different ways. I've cooked them. I've made cicada stir fry. They are great.
Best metamorphosis does that have to go to the butterfly?
That feels so basic though.
Doesn't it?
It
Right?
really does. I think we have to go with something that has hypermetamorphosis. If we go with mantid flies. So they are not mantises. They are their own group, but they have this hypermetamorphic phase where they're running around as these weird larvae called triangulins. And they're looking for usually a spider egg sac that they can drill into and eat all the spider eggs. And then they metamorphose into a regular like larva and then eventually into a pupa and into a mantis fly. Very, very, very cool. They're not actually related to mantises, but they look like them.
Were there bugs in dinosaur times?
Oh my gosh, yes. Haven't you seen Jurassic Park?
I guess that was kind of the whole basis, the mosquito, yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess I always imagined them as looking like our bugs.
Were they big? Were they giant?
Oh my gosh, I wish we were still in the Carboniferous, people. Why couldn't the Carboniferous have lasted all the way until today?
I ask that question every day.
See?
Yeah.
There were no drawbacks. Dragonflies were the length of your arm, and I really wish those days were still here.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine if you were late for work and you're like, I don't want to sit in traffic. I'm just going to take the dragonfly. And a school of dragonflies flies by and you just grab onto the legs of one and are off to work. Wouldn't that be amazing? Instead, we're out here just destroying the environment with tons of carbon we're putting into the atmosphere when we could have been riding.
Okay, but Ryan Dragonflies.
And I'm still late for work.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Best mandible. Will you tell everyone what a mandible is?
So, insect jaws are kind of weird. Oftentimes they bite this way rather than our jaws, they go this way. These are the mandibles of the insect, and they're used to chew things up, masticate, rip chunks off of a bug, and chew them up. The best mandibles, though, have to go to the baby dragonfly. It's called a naiad, and their mouth is on an arm. So that arm shoots off of their face, grabs onto a tadpole, and stuffs it back into the...
Fighting.
Oh, guys, don't fight. Don't fight.
So it stuffs it back in its head?
Yeah, and they just chew it up. That's pretty crazy.
Oh,
Okay.
I did not mean
All
that.
right. So
I
you
did
over here
not-
trying to
I
stab
did not.
people's, and no
Well,
one's
like,
ever gonna believe you're
I was
truly a
gonna cook
vegetarian.
it. I was gonna, but for video games.
Right.
Now I'm just murdering.
Yeah, indiscriminate murder.
So they're all fighting, but are there any bugs that get along? Any best friend bugs?
Aphids and ants. So if you've ever seen the movie A Bug's Life, you'll notice that the ant has a pet aphid named Aphie, I think, that she carries around with her. And they are just really good friends because in the real world, ants really need a good source of sugar. And aphids have an excess of sugar from the food that they consume. They're sucking the juice out of the plant through its phloem, and that gives them too much sugar in their diet. So they squeeze out these blobs of sugar the same way that cows squeeze out milk. And so the ants come over and they milk the aphids, and they'll carry them around and protect them. It's a whole thing.
Wait, so are they friends or is this their sugar mule?
Are we friends with cows when we're on the dairy farm?
I could be a friend with the cow.
Yeah, okay.
I'm stuck in the dark. This is not where I want to be. The lawn mites followed me in here? What's a lawn mite and why do they hate me? What have I done other than murder many of their kin?
Yeah, exactly.
Other
That's what you've
than-
done. That's what you've done. Have you ever looked down at the concrete and seen these tiny, tiny little red bumps just running around.
That's a lawn knife?
Then, mm-hmm. And I'm
had no
glad
idea.
but this is what I mean by sizes are extremely inconsistent in these sorts of games. That is not how big they should be.
Tinier, right?
Much, much tinier.
Oh, here are the corpses I left.
Mm-hmm.
We're not happy about
And
it.
I'm glad. So take her down, Spiderlings. Take her down. Take her down. Get her by the ankles. Get her by the ankles.
I have so much help.
Wow.
You got
Willow.
I was
got popped by
smoked
Willow.
by a mite.
Willow, you in danger, girl.
We tried.
Oh,
But we learned.
We did.
Yeah.
And isn't that what we came here for?
Yeah.
that's it.
It is.
And to not kill bugs. And
Well-
to get Nicole to fall in love with bugs, but I don't think she did.
Nicole, you do realize that this is going to be your legacy now on the internet?
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
There's a weevil crawling over my corpse.
Well, Nicole had to make some hard decisions, but I've loved this. Thank you so much, Dr. Sammy, for joining us. How can people follow you and continue learning about bugs through your work and your content?
Well, you can follow me on Instagram at Dr. Sammy Grams. And also, I have a YouTube. So if you just Google Dr. Sammy, you'll find all of my stuff.
And you teach classes as
I
well.
do. I teach science communication and insect biology. Pretty much just rambling on like I'm doing now about bugs. It's
Yeah.
my life.
It's fascinating.
Mhm.
It's fascinating. Thank you again.
Anytime.
And thank you so much for subscribing and watching the show. Nicole, I know this was a tough one.
It was tough emotionally.
I think you did great. I think you did great.
Thank you. Thank you. I needed some support right now.
Speaking of support, though, if you want to support Nicole,
You can also support the show by heading to pbssocal.org/gamer. You can make a donation of any amount. We are so appreciative of your support. Look at this amazing t-shirt you could get at the $7 a month tier of donations. Thank you so much for watching, for donating, and for not killing bugs. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it unless you have to, because you have to cook them apparently, and it's okay.
That's the only caveat.
Mm-hmm. If you ever do get shrunken and you have to kill bugs to survive, I will not judge you.
but never
happens.
Big Daddy LL.
No.
Never.
Cannot.
No,
Uh-uh.
don't touch him.